So we're straight back into it now. Competitor number 201, Mr. Jason Penny. Jason comes up here from central northern New South Wales, from Gunnedah. Got a nice little spot on a hill, just overlooking a few flats there at Gunnedah. So he rides his nomination in One More Curry. Waiting at the gate will be number 202, Carl Green, riding Fedora. Jessica Wickham's nomination from Walker. Last competitor, competitor 201, Jason Penny, and One More Curry, scoring a 21-point cutout. Unfortunately, Jason, that's all the money we can share this afternoon. 21 points is yours with One More Curry. Competitor number 202, Fedora is the name, Carl Green's the jockey, and Jessica Wickham is the owner. All the way from Walker. Good luck, Carl. Number 203 is Scratch, so 204, Tom Barnes, you are next in. So you're watching inside now, competitor number 202, Carl Green and Fedora, with Jessica Wickham's nomination. The 203 will be out. 204, Tom Barnes, you're next in with Willinga Park, Nikita. A few miles, don't be far away, you're 205 with Tough and Dainty. Once again, another big thank you to the Willinga Pastoral cattle guys, the whole team there, for organising these particular cattle. Like I say, over 50% of the first part of the catalogue here, or the have all scored 80 points or better here this morning. And there's another 4-point round there. Carl Green, Fedora scoring a 22 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework. Another 4 course points. Put it all together, that'll be 88.33 point round. 88.33 points for Carl Green and Fedora. In on camp, you are watching competitor number 204, Tom Barnes, riding Willinga Park, Nikita. Waiting at the gate, number 205, Hugh Miles, with his own nomination in Tough and Dainty. Hugh obviously comes down to us from the country music capital there in Tamworth. Unfortunately, last competitor, 204, Tom Barnes with Willinga Park, Nikita, goes out with a no score. When the camp is clear, we will require Hugh Miles, your competitor number 205 with Tough and Dainty. And number 206, John Mulcahy, you be at the gate, please, with Stratton Jill. Number 207, Graham Rosowski with Priestley's Impulse. Number 208, Robert Chamberlain with Ash Cat Repack.
I'm okay, John. You down there, John? There you go. That one up to go out.
You're watching outside now, competitor number 205, Huey Miles with Tough and Dainty. Huey's riding his own nomination. Huey comes to us down there from Tamworth. Huey, very well accomplished young horseman, setting himself up here for a nice run. Competitor number 205. In the camp, we will have 206, John Mulcahy with Stratton Jill. 207, Graham Rosinski with Priestley's Impulse. And number 208, Robert Chamberlain and Ashcat Repack. 209 will be Matt Holtz and Hazelwood Country Blues. 210, Ash Sheehan with Bravo's Playgirl. Last competitor, 205, Huey Miles and Tough and Dainty, scoring a 22.67 for cutout. 61 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Hugh. Be a grand total of 87.67. So 87.67 point round for Huey Miles and Tough and Dainty. You're watching in on camp now, competitor number 206, John Mulcahy, with his nomination in Stratton Jill. John comes to us from Roma, Queensland. Last competitor, competitor number 206, John Mulcahy with Stratton Jill, scoring a 21 for cutout, 60 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a neat 85-point round. 85 points for John Mulcahy and Stratton Jill. You are now watching competitor number 207. Graham Rosinski riding his nomination in Priestley's Impulse. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, spectators. If you're sitting back at the track, come on down, watch this. There's another 4 in a row, 4-pointers. So the cattle are running around there lovely this afternoon for you, competitors and spectators. That was Graham Rosinski with, as competitor number 207, Priestley's Impulse is the nomination. A 21.33 for cutout, a 60.67 worth of horsework. Put another 4 course points with that. That'll be an 86-point round. 86 points for Graham Rosinski's and Priestley's Impulse. In on camp now, number 208, Robert Chamberlain with Ashcat Repack. Ashcat Repack is owned by the Chamberlain family. Come to us here this afternoon from Bombala. Last competitor, 208, Robert Chamberlain with Ashcat Repack, scoring a 19-point cutout. 19 points there for Robert Chamberlain and Ashcat Repack. In on camp now, number 209, Matt Holtz, Hazelwood Country Blues. 210, Ash Sheehan, you be at the gate, please. You're next in with Bravo's Playgirl. 211, Pete Comiskey, don't be far away with Knight's Ransom. And number 212, Matty Moy with Con Lee. Watching outside now, competitor number 209, Matt Holtz with Hazelwood Country Blues. Comes to us on account of a Kooyong Pastoral. You're watching a past Gold Buckle champion here. That was lucky enough to take home a buckle here, I think a few years ago, a couple of years ago to be a fact. He's competed at number 209 on his nomination in Hazelwood Country Blues. Number 210, Ash Sheen with Bravo's Playgirl onto the camp, please. Number 211, Pete Comiskey, can you be at the gate with Knight's Ransom? And number 212, Matthew Moy with Con Lee. Number 213, John Turvey and Willinga Park Flow. And number 214, Philip Collins and Yavin Morice. And number 215, Ben Madam with Swallow's Nest Plover. Last competitor number. Sorry, Matt, we'll get you a score there in just a moment, but you're watching competitor number 210, Ash Sheen, Bravo's Playgirl. Waiting at the gate, please, number 211 to be Pete Comiskey, riding Knight's Ransom. The count of Jeremy Storia from Nebo. Last competitor, 209, Matt Holtz, Hazelwood Country Blues. Scoring a 21 for cutout, 57 for horsework, Matt. Number 3 course points. That'll be a grand total and an 81-point round. 81 points for Matt Holtz, Hazelwood Country Blues. You're watching outside now, competitor number 210, Ash Sheen with Bravo's Playgirl. In on the cam, selecting the cow will be number 211. It'll be Pete Comiskey riding Knight's Ransom. Ash Sheen with Bravo's Playgirl scoring a 21 point for cutout. 21 points there, Ash. Ash Sheen's Bravo's Playgirl. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 211. With Jeremy Storia's nomination in Knight's Ransom with Pete Comiskey aboard. Waiting at the gate will be number 212, Matthew Moy and Con Lee. 213 will be John Turvey and Willinga Park Flow. And number 214, Philip Collins, Yavin Morice. Talk about Gold Buckle Championship champions. There's one out there in front of you. I think he's got a draw full of them at home. He'll do his best to try and do another one. But anyway, this will be number 211, Pete Comiskey with Knight's Ransom. 212, Matthew Moy, you be on the camp, please. You're number 212 with Con Lee and John Turvey. Are you ready? You are number 213 with Willinga Park Flow. Last competitor, competitor 211, Pete Comiskey with Knight's Ransom, scoring a 21.67 for cutout, 57 for horsework, another 3 course points. Grand total, 81.67. 81.67 points for Pete Comiskey riding Knight's Ransom. You're watching in on camp now, competitor number 212, Matthew Moy with Con Lee, all the way here from Sutton Forest. Good luck there, Matthew. We'll grab you a camp score in just a moment. But while we are, competitor number 213 should be on the camp. Mr. John Turvey riding Terry Snow's nomination in Willinga Park Flow. John comes to us from St George up there in Queensland. Once again, a very valued part of the Willinga pastoral team. So a very big thank you to John Turvey. The last competitor 212, Matthew Moy and Con Lee, scoring a 21.33 points for his cutout. Righto, you're watching now Mr John Turvey with Terry Snow's Willinga Park flow at competitor 213. 214, Phil Collins, can you please be ready? You're riding Yaven More Ice. As mentioned, we're watching competitor number 213, Mr John Turvey, riding Terry Snow's Willinga Park flow. And on camp we will have competitor number 214, Phil Collins, riding Yaven More Ice. Comes in under the Collins and Peyton partnership there, all the way here from Bombala. Waiting at the gate, number 215, Ben Madem, be ready with Swallow's Nest Plover. Score to date there for John Turvey, Willinga Park flow is a 21 cutout, 60.33 worth of horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a grand total and a round score of 85.33 points. 85.33 for John Turvey and Willinga Park flow. You are watching in on camp now. Competitor number 214, Phil Collins, Yaven More Ice. As mentioned there, Yaven More Ice, it's owned by the Peyton and the Collins partnership here from Bombala. Phil Collins aboard. We'll get your score in just a moment. Competitor number 215 is on the camp. Mr Ben Matum riding Tim Webster's nomination in Swallow Nest Plover. Ben comes to us from Bective, right there near Tamworth. Last competitor, 214, Phil Collins, Yaven More Ice, scoring 17.67 for cutout, 60.33 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Phil. Grand total, 82-point round, 82 points for Phil Collins and Yaven More Ice. You're watching up the front of the yard there right now. Ben Madem is competitor number 215, Swallow's Nest Plover. Number 216, Stephen Hart, can you please be ready with Yaven Smooth Spin, and number 217, Amanda Nicholson with Who's a Cheater. Last competitor, 215, Ben Madem, Swallow's Nest Plover, scoring a 21-point cutout. Unfortunately, Ben, that's all the points we can share this afternoon. Ben Madem, Swallow's Nest Plover, 21 points. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 216, Stephen Hart, with his own nomination in Yaven Smooth Spin. Waiting at the gate, we should have competitor number 217, Amanda Nicholson with Who's a Cheater. Number 218, Luke Hardwick with The Braze, Dolly. And number 219, Cameron Webster with Clarence. And number 220, Roger Grant with Serenston Park Judge Destiny. Last competitor, Stephen Hart, with the Yaven Smooth Spin, scoring a 17-point cutout. 17 points for Stephen Hart and Yavin Smooth Spin. You're watching it on camp now. Competitor number 217, selecting her Kiao, is Amanda Nicholson with Texas Star Performance Horses there with Who's a Cheater. 218, we Luke Hardwick with the Braze Dolly, and number 219, Cameron Webster with Clarence, and 220, Roger Grant with Saracen Park, Judge Destiny. You're watching outside, competitor number 217, Amanda Nicholson, riding the nomination in Who's a Cheater. Amanda comes to us from Nemmingar, right on the edge of Tamworth, another one of the country music capitals. 218, Luke Hardwick, please be on the camp, selecting your cow, the Braze Dolly. Amanda Nicholson with Who's a Cheater, scoring a 20-point cutout. 59.33 worth of horsework. Put a forecourse with it. That'll be a grand total of 83.33. 83.33 points for Amanda Nicholson and Who's a Cheater. In on camp, you're watching competitor number 218, Luke Hardwick with the Braze Dolly. Luke's riding his own nomination, and he comes to us from Hawthorn. 219, Cameron Webster, please be at the gate with Clarence, with Sarah Webster's nomination, comes down from Wandon. So you're watching outside, Luke Hardwick with the Braze Dolly. In on the camp, we will have, selecting his Kia, number 219, Cameron Webster with Clarence. Roger Grant, you are next in at 220 with Saracens Park, Judge Destiny. The last competitor, 218, Luke Hardwick with the Braze Dolly, scoring a 21-point cutout, a 61.67 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a round score of 86.67 points. 86.67 for Luke Hardwick and the Braze Dolly. You're watching outside now. Watching outside now, competitor number 219, Cameron Webster, riding Sarah Webster's nomination in Clarence. Fortunately, we'll grab you a camp score there in just a moment, Cameron, and that is a number 21. 21 points there for your cutout. In on camp now, we are watching Mr. Roger Grant. Here's number 220. Roger's the principal up there at Kubar Performance Horses from Tamworth. Waiting at the gate, we will have competitor number 221, Ben Hall with Hall's Poetic. Thanks, Rog. Roger Grant scoring an 18.67 cutout. 18.67 points there, Rog, for Serenson Park Judge Destiny. In on camp, you are watching competitor number 221. Mr. Van Hall with Hall's Poetic, and it comes to us today and under the ownership of Ben and Jay Hall from Julia Creek. Made the long trip down. Thank you guys, making the effort. Waiting at the gate, we will have competitor number 222, Troy Palmer, riding Binia Convoy. Last competitor, Ben Hall, Hall's Poetic, scoring a 20-point cutout. 20 points there, my friend. You're on camp. You are now watching competitor number 222. Troy Palmer riding Binia Convoy. Binia Convoy comes to us under the ownership of Troy and Fiona Palmer. Need no introduction into the camp draft or the equine world, but they come to us from Coolah. And like I say, if you're sitting at home or you're sitting here in the stands, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what an opportunity you've got here to see some of the finest horse and rider combinations across Australia right here under your nose here this afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are sitting back there, come on down, have a look. It is not often you get the opportunity to see the horsemanship, the horsepower, the owners, the trainers, all here in one spot. So congratulations to the Snow family for putting on such an event to gather those people. But obviously there's a nice big paycheck at the end of it as well if you're successful right throughout the week. So score to date for competitor number 222, Troy Palmer with Binia Convoy, scoring a 22-point cutout. 62.33 for Horsework, another 4 course points there for Convoy. That'll be a grand total of 88.33 points. 88.33 for Troy and Fiona Palmer's Binia Convoy. In on camp now, competitor number 223, Matt Moffat with Snapchat. Matt's riding B&B Comiskey's nomination here in Snapchat. Matt comes to us from Cabra. In on camp we should have competitor number 224, Ken Bolton with Obenvale Athena. Waiting at the gate, 225, Tom Shea and Renegade. 226, Mr. David Thorne with She's a Stylish Cat. Score to date for Matthew Moffat and a Snapchat, scoring a 22.67 cutout. 64 for Horsework, a 4 course points. That'll be a 90.67 round. It'll be a 90.67 round. That'll put you up there in second place at this point in time, Matthew Moffat. in this first round of the Gold Buckle Championship here for 2024. You're watching In On Camp now. Competitor number 224, Ken Bolton, Oban Valathina. Number 225, Tom Shea and Renegade. 226, David Thorne. She's a Stylish Cat. Number 227, Chris Nicholson with Palmer's Maybelline. Watching outside there now, 224, Ken Bolton, Oban Valathina. Oban Valathina is owned by Ken and Alison Bolton from Stradbroke. Last competitor, competitor number 224, Ken Bolton, Oban Valathina, scoring a 21.33 cutout, 54 for horsework, another 3 course points. That'll be grand total of 78.33. And when the camp is clear, we're going to have a fresh yard of cattle. You'll get a brand new yard of cattle, Tom Shea from Renegade. For those of you watching from home, every 25 runs, they give all the competitors, so they all get an even chance. And the cattle stay fresh right throughout the weekend. So a big thank you to that cattle team from Willinga Pastoral. But Tom Shea gets a brand new yard of cattle. He is competitor number 225, Renegade's nomination. Tom comes to us from Braidwood. $226, Dave Thorne, you be at the gate, please, with She's a Stylish Cat. Number 227 will be Chris Nicholson and Palmer's Maybelline. And number 228 will be Evan Bailey with Mumbula Snook. And number 229, Dan French and True Bat. And number 230, Tony Pierce with Highly Stylish. Tom Shea and Renegade scoring a 21.33. Unfortunately, just zigged the wrong side of that tree. So 21.33 is all the points we can share, Tom. In on camp now, we have competitor number 226, David Thorne, riding Jason and Amy Penny's nomination in She's a Stylish Cat. David comes to us from Wallenbean. 227, Chris Nicholson, you be at the gate, please, with Palmer's Maybelline. And 228, Evan Bailey with Mumbula Snook. 229, Dan French and True Bet. And 230, Tony Pierce with Highly Stylish. Number 231, John Mitchell with Miss Heartacre. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about it there just a moment ago, but some of these horse and rider combinations here, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting spoiled for choices here. You are watching outside now, none other than Mr. David Thorne with She's a Stylish Cat. David Thorne with She's a Stylish Cat scoring a 23.33 cutout, 60.67 worth of horsework. You put a 4 course points through that, Dave. That'll be a nice, neat, even round score of 88 points. 88-point round for David Thorne and She's a Stylish Cat. In on camp now, 227, Chris Nicholson riding Palmer's Maybelline. 228, Evan Bailey with Mambula Snook, and number 229, Dan French and True Bet. So you're watching Chris Nicholson with Palmer's Maybelline with his own nomination. Chris comes to us from Maruya. Last competitor, Evan Bailey with Mambula Snook, scoring 19.33 for cutout, 56 for horsework, another 3 course points. Grand total, 78.33. 78.33 points, Evan Bailey with Mambula Snook. In on camp now, all eyes, Dan French, you are number 229, riding True Bet. True Bet's owned by MJ and CM French, and Dan comes to us down from Nimberdabell. Tony Pearce, you're number 230. You're next in with Highly Stylish. Johnny Mitchell, don't be far away. You're number 231 with Miss Hardacre. And number 232, Brett Staines, Conrad. And 233, Mr. Mark Buttsworth with Pep's Double Ray. Last competitor, Dan French with True Bet, scoring a 20.33 cutout. 20.33 points, Dan French and True Bet. In on camp now, we're watching competitor number 230, Tony Pearce, riding Highly Stylish. Tony comes to us from Goulburn. And Tony's riding Highly Stylish, who's owned by Tom Kernia. 231, John Mitchell, will you please be at the gate? You are riding Miss Hardacre. Good luck there, Tony. Tony Pearson, highly stylish, scoring a 20.33 for the cutout. 20.33 for Tony Pearson, highly stylish. In on camp, we will have competitor number 231, John Mitchell, riding Miss Hardacre. John's riding his own nomination. John comes to us from Tooma, down here in the south. Waiting at the gate. Correction, waiting at the gate, we should have competitor number 232, Brett Staines, riding Conrad. Mark Buttsworth, don't be far away. You're 233 with Pep's Double Ray, and number 234, Bridie Puddicombe with EPCD Cat. As mentioned, you're watching competitor number 231, Mr. John Mitchell with Miss Hardacre. Going round in on the camp, we will have 232, Brett Staines and Conrad. Number 233 at the gate, please, Mark Buttsworth and Pep's Double Ray. Watching outside, competitor number 232, Brett Staines and Conrad. In on camp, number 233, Mark Buttsworth with Pep's Double Ray. Last competitor, Brett Staines with Conrad, scoring a 20 for cutout, 54 for horsework, another 3 course points. That'll be a 77-point round. 77 points for Brett Staines and Conrad. In on camp now, you're watching Mr. Mark Buttsworth with the nomination in Pep's Double Ray. Mark's riding his own nomination, and Mark, as we know, comes from Kingaroy, Queensland. In on camp, number 234, Bridie Puddicombe, EPCD Cat. Waiting at the gate, we need number 235, Rowan Marks and Turner Marks, editor. Number 236, Zane Haberman's Memphis, and 237, Hugh Miles, Honey Their Aiken. Mark Buttsworth, Pep's double race, scoring a 23.33 cutout. 62 for horsework, another 4 course points there, Mark. That'll be a grand total, 89.33 round. 89.33 for Mark Buttsworth with Pep's double ray. You're watching in on camp now, and a competitor number 234 actually outside. She says, Bryony Putticum with EPCD Cat. In her own nomination, like we say, Bryony comes to us there from Nebo in Queensland. Walking in on the yard now, please. 235, Rowan Marks with Turner Marks editor. Number 236, Zane Haberman and Memphis. Like we keep saying, what about some of these rider-horse combinations, ladies and gentlemen? Another nice 4-point round. Last competitor, Bryony Putticum with EPCD Cat, scoring a 21 cutout, 63.67 worth of horsework there, Bryony. Put it with a 4 course points, and that'll be an 88.67. 88.67 points for Bryony Putticum with a nomination in EPCD Cat. You're watching now outside, number 235 over the page, up the top. We have Rowan Marks, Turner Marks editor. Rowan comes to us from Charlwood. Once again, getting straight down to business. In on camp number 236, selecting, there be, Zane Haberman with a Memphis. There you go. Last competitor number 235, Rowan Marks with Turner Marks editor, scoring a 22.67 cutout, 64.33 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a neat 91-point round, 91 neat round for Rowan Marks, Turner Marks editor. Righto, watching outside now, straight into it, number 236, Zane Haberman with a Memphis. Memphis is owned by Kerry Thompson. And Zane comes to us from Springshaw. In on the camp, please, 237, Hugh Miles, you be ready with Honey There Aiken. Last competitor number 236, Zane Haberman and Memphis, scoring a 22-point cutout, 63.33 worth of horsework. Put a 4 courses with it, and that'll give you an 89.33 round. 89 points, 89.33, correction, for Zane Haberman and Memphis. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 237 with Peter Doonan's nomination, Honey There Aiken, Hugh Miles aboard. Hugh obviously comes to us there from Tamworth. Again, we talk about rider and horse combination. So you are watching outside. Peter Doonan's nomination, Honey There Aiken, Hugh Miles aboard.
Got him? In the middle there. 3rd from me. 3 from me.
Peter Durnan's nomination with Huey Miles and Honey There Aiken, scoring a 22-point cutout, 60.67 with the horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be an 86.67 round score. 86.67 for Huey Miles and Honey There Aiken. You're on camp now. You're watching competitor number 238, Hannah Trainer with Bullseye Banjo. Bullseye Banjo is owned by the Trainer family. On this particular occasion, we've got Hannah Trainer. Waiting at the gate, please, number 239, Kelly Eagles. 1 Stylish Tat. Number 240, Pat Cleaver with a Conserine. And number 241, Jess Scott. Roni's Independent 1. Number 242, Kelly Smith, Cinderella. Number 243, Bruce Odell with Willpower. Hannah Trainer with the Trainer family Bullseye Banjo, scoring a 21-point cutout, 61.67 for horsework. Full 4 course points there, Hannah. Grand total, 86.67 round score. 86.67 for Hannah Trainer with a Bullseye Banjo. In on camp now, competitor number 239, Kelly Eagles with a 1 Stylish Tat. 240, Pat Cleaver and Conserine, and number 241, Jess Scott, Roni's Independent 1, and number 242, Kelly Smith and Cinderella. Kelly Eagles with 1 Stylish Tat, scoring a 13.33 for cutout. Unfortunately, no further points there. 13.33 for Kelly Eagles. In on camp now, competitor number 240, Pat Cleaver with Conserine. Conserine is owned by the Fitzgerald family there, and Pat comes to us from Nimidabel. Waiting at the gate, number 241, Jess Scott with Roni's Independent 1, and number 242, Kelly Smith, Cinderella. 243 will be Bruce Odell and Will Power, and 244, Robert Newton and Dust Storm. As mentioned, you're watching outside competitor number 240, Pat Cleaver, riding the nomination in Conserine. Conserine's owned by the Fitzgerald family, and Pat comes to us from Nimidabel. So again, Pat working on another full round score here. In on camp, we should have competitor number 241, Jess Scott, Roney's independent one, waiting at the gate. We need Kelly Smith, your number 242 with Cinderella. Last competitor, Pat Cleaver with Conserine, scoring a 19.67 for cutout. Fortunately, no further points there, Pat, but 19.67 for Conserine. In on camp, you are watching competitor number 241, Jess Scott, riding Roger Grant's nomination in Roney's independent one. As mentioned there, Roger Grant from Kubar Performance Horses. Good to see you down here, Rog. Kubar Performance Horse Stable, sitting up there at Tamworth. And this time we've got Jess Scott aboard. And in the camp, please, number 242, Kelly Smith and Cinderella. Number 243, Bruce O'Dell and Will Power. Please be at the gate. Number 244, Robert Newton and Dust Storm. Don't be far away. Last competitor, Jess Scott with Roney's independent one, scoring a 22.33 for cutout, 62.33 worth of horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a grand total of an 88.67 round. 88.67 points for Jess Scott and Roney's independent one. You are watching in on camp now. Competitor number 242, Kelly Smith, Cinderella. Waiting at the gate will be number 243, Bruce O'Dell and Will Power. 244, Robert Newton, don't be far away with Dust Storm. And 245. You're watching outside, competitor number 242, Kelly Smith and Cinderella, owned by Bernie and Kelly Smith, come to us from Tumut. You're on the camp, please, number 243, Bruce O'Dell, Will Power. 244, waiting at the gate, Robert Newton and Dust Storm. 245, Paige and Ankara with Oaks Confection. Last competitor number 242, Kelly Smith and Cinderella, scoring a 21-point cutout. 21 points there for Cinderella and Kelly Smith. In on camp, you are watching now competitor number 243, Bruce O'Dell, riding his own nomination in Will Power. Bruce comes to us from Malden. Waiting at the gate, number 244, Robert Newton and Dust Storm, please. Number 245, Paige and Cara with Oaks Confection. And number 246, Lockie Sim and Destiny Cherry. 247, Amy Jemison and CD. Last competitor, Bruce O'Dell and Will Power, scoring a 22.33 for cutout, 62 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be a grand total, an 88.33 full round score. 88.33 for Bruce O'Dell and Will Power. 244 now, Robert Newton and Dust Storm. Rob rides his own nomination in Dust Storm and comes to us from Wandowan. You're watching outside, Robert Newton and Dust Storm. As mentioned, Rob's riding his own nomination. Last competitor, Robert Newton and Dust Storm, scoring at 21.33 for cutout, 56.67 for horsework, another 3 course points. That'll be a grand total, an 81-point round, 81 points for Robert Newton and Dust Storm. In on camp now, you're watching competitor number 245, Paige Nancaro, riding Oaks Confection. Oaks Confection's owned by the Moore family, and Paige comes to us from Camperdown. Watching outside, Paige Nancaro riding the Moore family's nomination in Oaks Confection. In on the camp, number 246, Lockie Sim, you be ready in there, please, with Destiny Cherry. And number 247, Amy Jamison on CD, please be at the gate. Number 248, Mick Southern and Zeus. And number 249, Andrew Sheridan with Sherrow's Traditional Acres. Sorry, Paige Nancaro for Oaks Confection, scoring 14.67 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points there for Paige. That'll be a 79.67 round, 79.67. That last competitor, Lockie Sim with Destiny's Cherry, scoring a 21.33 cutout. Hang on, Lockie, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to your score in just a moment. Lockie Sim scoring a 21.33 cutout, a 55.33 for horsework, a 3 course point. That'll be a 79.67 also, 79.67 points. You are currently watching now Amy Jamison with a CD. Amy comes to us there with her own nomination and CD, comes to us there from near Tamworth. Amy Jamison and CD scoring a 22-point cutout. 22 points for the cutout there for Amy Jamison and a CD. In on camp now, you have competitor number 248, Mick Southern, riding Zeus. Mick's riding his own nomination. And Mick comes to us from Wingallen. Waiting at the gate, number 249, Andrew Sheridan. You be ready there with Sherrow's Traditional Acres. And number 250 will be Peter Bolton with a Condo. Number 251, Campbell Boylo with Savannah. Number 252, Josh Barnett with Barn Lodge, Chan's Destiny. 253, David Murphy and Shalani Tempo. But you're currently watching outside 248, Mick Southern's Zeus. The last competitor, number 248, Mick Southern and Zeus, scoring a 22 cutout, 55 for horsework, another 4 course points, grand total, 81-point round, 81 points for Mick Southern and Zeus. You are now watching in on camp, competitor number 249, Andrew Sheridan, riding the resident sire in Sherrow's Traditional Acres. Sherrow comes to us from Wagga Wagga here in New South Wales. Waiting at the gate, number 250, Peter Bolton's Condo. Number 251, Campbell Bolo with Savannah. Last competitor, Andrew Sheridan with Sherrow's Traditional Acres, scoring a 14.67 cutout. 14.67, Sherrow. In on camp now, competitor number 250, Peter Bolton and Condo. Condo is owned by Peter and Michelle Bolton. They come to us from Hayfield. After this run, we will have a new yard of cattle and 251 then, Campbell Bolo with a Savannah. 252, Josh Barnett and Barn Lodge, Chan's Destiny, and number 253, David Murphy and Chalani Tempo. You're watching outside now, competitor number 250, Peter Bolton and Condo. 251, Campbell Barlow, please be on the camp with Savannah.
We're at 50, Ken. Tom?
Competitor number 250, Peter Bolton and Condo, scoring a 21.33 for cutout, 61 for horsework, another 4 course points. That'll be an 86.33 round. 86.33 for Peter Bolton's Condo. The camp is clear. We will require number 251, Campbell Boylo with Savannah. Righto, I'm going to hand over to my good friend, Mr. Glenn Morgan. He's going to carry you on for the next 50.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Gavin. Back on air once again, ladies and gentlemen, and just while we do have that change of cattle in the camp, and of course we swap positions here in the main broadcast office, updating our current leader in the competition, Matty Moffat, riding JMD Fascinator, still leads the event 91.67. Rowan Marks, Turner Marks editor, 91, sets second. Rounding out the top three, Matthew Moffat once again. Snapchat, 90.67. From Scott Bandy Rooster, 89.67. As is Hugh Miles, Destiny Playgirl. They're the top five in the first round of our Western Ringers Gold Cup first round camp drafting competition here at Willinga. We're getting underway with our next contestant. On camp now is 251 in the catalogue, Campbell Below, riding Savannah. From 252, Josh Barnett, Barn Lodge, Chance Destiny, and David Murphy with Chalani Tempo at 253 to stand by, please. We're watching on the camp at this stage, Campbell Boileau with Savannah. Makes his home in Goulburn at 251. Next on the camp will be 252, Josh Barnett with Barn Lodge, Chance Destiny. And we have the score coming through for contestant 251, Campbell Boileau, riding Savannah. We had a camp score of 20, 48.67 for horsework, 3 for course. Grand total in this event of 71.67. On camp, we're watching Barn Lodge Chance Destiny at 252, which is Josh Barnett. Followed by 253, back into the camp now will be David Murphy with Chalani Tempo. 254 is Pete Comiskey with Binya Wisdom, followed by Jay Sharnock at 255. Just for the guests that are joining us here this afternoon for our first day of competition here at Willinga, we've got round number 2 starts at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. That'll be the second round of the Gold Buckle here at Willinga, followed on later in the afternoon by the cutout qualifier at 6:30. Friday sees the semi-finals of the Gold Buckle Championship camp drafting event. We've got scores coming through for contestant 252, Josh Barnett with Barn Lodge Chance Destiny, 20.67 for camp, 60.33 for horsework, 4 for course, grand total of 85 points, 85. We're watching on camp now. This is David Murphy with Shalani Tempo at 253 in the competition. At the gate coming in will be Pete Comiskey with Binya Wisdom at 254 and Jay Sharnock with Jakiro Lincoln at 255. Unfortunately, that'll be a no score for our previous competitor, Shalani Tempo and David Murphy at 253. Just while as we have the adjustment here in the camp, a very special thanks to our naming rights sponsors and partners here this weekend. Willinga Park would like to thank and support the naming right partner in Ringers Western. Ringers Western was formed in the rugged Kimberley region of Western Australia back in 2012. The Ringers Western will always be inspired by its roots. Like a ringer, the Ringers Western, with its grassroots simplicity, high standard of design and quality, it is tough, adaptable, sometimes cheeky, but offers you class and loyalty. This basic grassroots simplicity, high standard of design and quality sets Ringers Western way ahead of the mob. They are our naming rights and partners here at the Willinga Gold Buckle Campdraft Championship for 2024. Next contestant on the camp will be contestant 254 in your catalogue. This is Pete Comiskey riding Binya Wisdom, nominated by Jordan McDowell from Nebo. It'll be followed by 255 Jay Sharnock with Jakira Lincoln. 256 to be ready is Scott Bandy, Ubaneri Memphis, and 257 is Bonnie Hiscock. Watching on course from Nebo, Pete Comiskey with Binya Wisdom. Be at the gate, please. Jay Sharnock. 256, Scott Bandy, Banera Memphis. And 257 is Bonnie Hiscock. Mayburn Davey. Okay, scores are coming through for Pete Comiskey with Binya Wisdom. We've got a camp score of 23, 61.67 for horsework, 4 for course, and a grand total here this afternoon of 88.67, 88.67. Moving on to 255 on camp as we speak is Jay Sharnock, Jakira Lincoln. At the gate, we'll have Scott Banny with Baneri Memphis and Bonnie Hiscock with Mayborn Davey. To be ready, please. And that was, we watched on that occasion, 255 in the draw, Jay Sharnock, Jakira Lincoln. On camp, as we speak, getting ready, Scott Bandy with Baneri Memphis. Scores are coming through for Jay Sharnock, 22 in the camp, 57 for horsework, 3 for course, grand total in this round of 82 points, 8-2. We're watching on the arena now. This is Scott Bandy, Baneri Memphis at 256. Bonnie Hiscock, Mayborn Davey into the camp, please. Matthew Moffat at the gate with Conflict and Toby White with Smith Family Dulce. Scores are coming through for contestant 256, Scott Bandy, riding Beneri Memphis. Camp score of 22.33, 55 for horsework, 3 for course, and a total of 80.33. That's 80.33. On camp, we look down to 257, Bonnie Hiscock with Mayborn Davey. 258 at the gate is Matthew Moffat with Conflict, and 259 to stand by is Toby White with Smith's Family Dulce. We're watching our contestant from Mafra this time, Bonnie Hiscock, Mayborn Davey on the course. Into the camp at 258 will be Matthew Moffat with Conflict, and Toby White at 259. Very special thanks to our principal partners this weekend, including Willinga Park would like to express their gratitude and support to the season and principal partner, Foresight, for their support, providing quality joint supplements for not only our equine and canine friends, but also for us as humans. You can scan the QR code around the venue for your chance to win the ultimate Foresight and Osteo Restore joint support package valued at over $2,500. And our scores are coming through for Mayborn Davey. Bonnie Hiscock, camp score of 22, 56.67 for horsework, 3 for course, and a grand total of 81.67 for Mayborn Davey, 81.67. Our attention turns now to 258, Matthew Moffat riding Conflict. Onto the camp now, we'll have Toby White at 259 with Smith Family Dulce. 260 will be Lloyd Aquilina with Crossy Nomad. That, ladies and gentlemen, was 258 in the afternoon competition here in go round 1 of the Gold Buckle Championship Campdrafting here at Willinga, brought to us by Ringers Western Wear. And our scores come through for our previous competitor, Matthew Moffat riding Conflict, 22.33 for camp, 62.33 for horsework, 4 for course, and a grand total in this round of 88.67, 88.67. Move down to 259 this time from Dumbalk North. This will be Toby White representing the Smith Family Dulce. Followed by 260, Lloyd Aquilina with Tracrossi Nomad. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Toby Wright riding Smith's Family Dulce. At 259 in the draw, 260 onto the camp is Lloyd Aquilina. At the gate, we'll have Dean Rogers with Do Be Lucky at 261. 262 is Ben McNaughton with Tiptoe. And 263, not that far away, is Leah Whitehead with Leonie Jane. Scores are now through for Toby White and Smith Family Dulce. 15.67 for camp, 59 points for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total of 78.67, 78.67. We are now watching on course Lloyd Aquilina, Tracrossi Nomad. Into the camp at 261, we'll have Dean Rogers with Do Be Lucky. 262 is Ben McNaughton with Tiptoe. And 263, Leah Whitehead, not all that far away. Contestant we're watching on camp this time from Bega is Dean Rogers at 261, riding Do Be Lucky. 262 at the gate, we're looking for Ben McNaughton with Tiptoe. 263, Leah Whitehead, Leonie Jane. To be ready, please. We're watching on the course this time. This is Do Be Lucky, ridden by Dean Rogers. Back to the camp, it'll be Ben McNaughton warming with 262, Tiptoe, 263, Leah Whitehead, and then we move on to 264. Will be Troy Palmer with Who's Divine. Scores are coming through for Dean Rogers with Do Be Lucky. We've got a score of 20.33 in the camp. 61 points for horsework. 4 for course. 85.33 for Dean Rogers. 85.33. We now turn our attention to the course. This time it's Ben McNaughton riding Tiptoe. Ben has been kind enough to join us from Walker in northern New South Wales. He'll be followed by Leah Whitehead in the camp at 263. And 264, Troy Palmer. And at 265, moving right along to Matt Durkin with Fancy Man. Scores are coming through for Tiptoe. That was 262 in the catalogue. Ben McNaughton had a camp score of 20.33, 61.67 for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total in this round of 86. Watching on course now, we're watching Leonie Jane, ridden by Leah Whitehead. The young lady joins us from Cootamundra. A very, very special thanks to the team from Willinga Pastoral Company there at Hillview, supplying the entire line of cattle for this draft on day number 1 of competition, our Gold Buckle Campdrafting competition. On camp now, we've got 264. This will be Troy Palmer with Who's Divine. Looking back, Leonie Jane, ridden by Leah Whitehead, had a camp score of 21.33. 61 points for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total of 86.33. 86.33. Troy Palmer on the camp, 264. 265 at the gate is Matt Durkin with Fancy Man. 266 to be ready is Sarah Nichols with Rustic Metal. And 267 will be Ben Madem with Adius One More Keris. Just another one of the horses here representing the Willinga Park team, ridden today by Troy Palmer, Who's Divine. And that is Troy Palmer, 264 in the catalogue this afternoon, riding Willinga Park's Who's Divine. We'll have the scores through for Troy very shortly, but we move on to 265 in the camp. This is Matt Durkin. Matt joins us here this weekend, nowadays based out of Tamworth, riding his nomination, Fancy Man. He followed by Sarah Nichols at the gate with Rustic Metal, and then we go to Ben Madem at 267. Score is now through for Who's Divine. Troy Palmer, 22.67 for camp. 55 points for horsework, 3 for course, and a total of 80.67 today, 80.67. We're watching in action Matt Durkin, Fancy Man at 265, to be followed into the camp, 266, Sarah Nichols, Rustic Metal. Very special thanks to our officials here this weekend, Mr. Wayne Smith from Tamworth, Mr. David Reeder from Gamiri, and from Glen Innes. We welcome down from the beautiful New England region, Tom Williamson. I've had a big job with 368 competitors in this opening round of the Gold Buckle Campdrafting Championship. Scores are coming through for Fancy Man and Matt Durkin. It is 22 points for camp, 60.67 for horsework, 4 for course, and a total in this round of 86.67. 86.67. Okay, as we clear the arena, we get set to go with 266 in the catalogue. Sarah Nichols will be our next contestant. Sarah joins us here from Josephville, riding Rustic Metal. She'll be followed by 267 at the gate, Ben Madem. 268, Gay McBurney with Condamine Riola Roney to get ready, please. And that was, on that occasion, Sarah Nichols riding Rustic Metal. Okay, into the camp. It will be our attention set on number 267, Ben Madem. Joins us here this afternoon from Bective on the western side of Tamworth, riding Rachel Flanagan's nomination, Adius One More Caress. Scores are coming through for Sarah Nichols. Rustic medal. We've got a 16-point for camp, 60 for horsework, 4 for course, and a total in this first go-round of 80 points, 8-0. Moving to 267 in the camp is Ben Maidham. Adius, One More Caress. Number 268 at the gate will be Gay McBurney with Condamine Riola Roney. 269 will be Ben Cowdroy riding One Stylish Buddy, and 270 will be Ben Hall, Tamaroo Jackson. And that was the contestant in action, Ben Maidham, with Adios, One More Caress at number 267. As we wait for the scores to come through, we look down to the camp. It'll be Condamine Riola Roney. It'll be Gay McBurney's riding Condamine Riola, representing and nominated by the SKG Performance Horses. Scores through for Ben Maidham. Score of 15.67 for camp, 62 points for horsework, 4 for course, 81.67, 81.67. Adios, One More Caress. $268 in the draw. This is Gay McBurney's Condamine Riola Roney. At the gate, we're looking for Ben Cowderoy. One Stylish Buddy, 270 Ben Hall. Tamaroo Jackson, and 271 is William Chugg with Miss Brooks Boone. And that was it for Gay McBurney, Condamine Riola Roney. 268 in our competition. Into the camp, 269, Ben Cowdery with One Stylish Buddy. 270 is Ben Hall with Tamaroo Jackson, and William Chugg not that far away with Miss Brooks Boone. Contestant, we're watching this contestant at 269, Ben Cowdery, makes his home at Cabargo, representing the Cowdery family's nomination, One Stylish Buddy. Scores are through for Gay McBurney. We had a camp score of 20.33, 57.33 for horsework, 3 for course. Rounded out, we've got a score of 80.67, 80.67. And we've got a camp score coming through for One Stylish Buddy, Ben Cowdery, 20.67, 20.67. Ola 270 into camp. This is Tamaroo Jackson. All the way down from Julia Creek. This is Ben and Jay Hall's nomination. Ridden here this afternoon by Ben Hall at number 270. 271 is William Chugg. 272 is Hugh Miles with Smooth Talker. 273, Kennelly Bachaz, riding Stylish Candy, not that far away. And that is time for Ben Hall with Tamaroo Jackson. 270 in our competition. 271, William Chog will be into the camp with Miss Brooks Boone. Makes his home in Wandowan. 272, not that far away, Hugh Miles with Smooth Talker. And 273, Kenel Bachaz. Scores are coming through for Tamaroo Jackson and Ben Hall. We've got a camp score of 20.67. 56.67 for horsework, 3 for course, and a total here this afternoon of 80.33. That, ladies and gentlemen, was contested 271. William Chug with Miss Brooks Boone from Wandowan, Queensland. Into the camp as we get set to go with the Smooth Talker in this event. It'll be ridden by Hugh Miles. At a score and a camp score only for William Chug and Miss Brooks Boone of 20.33. 20.33. 272, we're watching Hugh Miles in action. Joins us from up in the country music city of Tamworth. That was indeed 272, Hugh Miles. Smooth Talker. 273, Kenil Bachaz with Stylish Candy. 274, not that far away, Joanna Coke with Rosie's Tap. And 275 is Annette Fitzgerald with Barambola Amazing. Scores have come through for Hugh Miles and Smooth Talker. We've got a camp score of 23. 59.67 for horsework, 4 for course. Total here this afternoon of 86.67. 86.67. Kenil Bachaz, Stylish Candy at 273. 274, Joanna Coke with Rosie's Tap. 275, not that far away, is Annette Fitzgerald, followed by Harry Steiger. And that was 273 in our competition. Kenil Bachaz with Stylish Candy. Well, as we wait for the scores, we've had some reading glasses handed in. They are blue. They look like they're reading glasses. They've got a band that runs around behind the back of them. Blue glasses, blue reading glasses with a band that runs behind the head. If you are short of those glasses, you can talk to Lauren, one of the girls in the Secretary's office here in the broadcast area. Keneal's scores come through with Stylish Candy, 16.3 for cutout, 62.33 for horsework, 4 for course, 82.66, 82.6. Move on to 274 in the camp, Joanna Coke with Rosie's Tap. 275 at the gate is Annette Fitzgerald, and 276, Harry Steger with Jessie J. 277, Cameron Webster with Constantina. We had a camp score for Joanna Coke. Camp score of 18.67, 18.67 at Rosie's Estap. 275, we look down to the camp. We are getting Annette Fitzgerald with Barambola Amazing. 276, Harry Steger with Jessie J. 277, Cameron Webster with Constantina. 278, Mark Palmer with Palmer Zulu, not that far away. We're watching on course at this stage. This is 275 in the competition. Annette Fitzgerald. 276 on to the camp will be Harry Steger with Jessie J. 277, Cameron Webster with Constantina. 278 getting warmed up will be Mark Palmer with Palmer Zulu. We had a score coming through for Bambarola Amazing and Annette Fitzgerald at 275. We had a camp score of 20.67. 58 points for horsework, 3 for course, and a grand total in this round of 81.67. 81.67. We're watching in the camp Harry Steger and Harry riding 276, Jessie J. He followed by 277, Cameron Webster with Constantina. Mark Palmer with Palmer Zulu at 278. From there we go to 279, John Mulcahy with Stratton Tenari. Well, that was 276, Jesse J. Harry Steger with Jesse J. And a camp score of 13.33, 13.33. 277 into the camp will be Constantina, ridden in this round by Cameron Webster. Cameron joins us from Wandoan in Queensland. It's good to have so many interstate visitors here down for the Willinga Park Gold Buckle Championship campdrafting event. Cameron Webster, 277, 278 at the gate will be Mark Palmer with Palmer Zulu. 279 to warm up, John Mulcahy. And 280 will be Olivia McCallum. That was our contestant, 277, Cameron Webster from Wandoan, Queensland with Constantina. We've got a camp score for Cameron of 21.67, 21.67. Moving right along to our next contestant, joins us this time all the way down from Corindi in the Hunter Valley, New South Wales. 278 is Mark Palmer. Righties, Palmer Zulu. 279 at the gate, John Mulcahy with Stratton Tiaya. And at 280, Olivia McCallum with Henry Boone. On that occasion, that was Sally Stockwell's nomination, Palmer Zulu, ridden here this afternoon by Mark Palmer. We'll have a camp score of 21.33, 21.33 for Palmer Zulu. 279 in the camp this time is John Mulcahy with Stratton Tenaya. 280, Olivia McCallum with Henry Boone. 281 was Charlie Hexberger with Bill Carabassold. 282 is Gus Malone with Oak View Isabel. That was 279, John Mulcahy with Stratton TAR. 18 in the camp, 18 only for John Mulcahy. 280 in the camp is Olivia McCallum, riding Henry Boone. Olivia joins us from Woolbrook, nominated by Linda McCallum. Henry Boone, ridden here in this round by Olivia. Followed in at 281 at the gate, Charlie Hengsberger with Bill Carabasol. 282, Gus Malone. 283, it'll be Mackenzie Pryor with Morangi, Romeo's Child. Of course, two of the drafts coming up in the next couple of days. The Ladies Dash for Cash is always a very, very exciting and entertaining event to watch. Of course, that will be part of our Friday afternoon program. Starts around about 3:45. The Ladies Dash for Cash final and presentation will be a great one to watch. And it's in a good addition, the juvenile and junior drafts that are staged here on Saturday, main day of competition. They start about 9:45 on Saturday, major day of events. So two events not to miss throughout the course of our 4 days here at Willinga Park. We've got a camp score coming through for Olivia McCallum with Henry Boom of 22. 60 for horsework, 4 for course, and a score of 86 points. 86 for Olivia McCallum and Henry Boone. 281 in the competition with Charlie Hengsberger with Bill Carabassold. 282 is Gus Malone with Oakview Isabel. And at 283, warming up, Mackenzie Pryor with Morangi, Romeo's Child. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was 281. Charlie Hengsberger's nomination, Bill Carabassold. Into the camp this time is 282 from Tumut, here in the Southern Highlands, Oakville Isabel. Nominated by Gus and Kylie Malone. 283, it'll be Mackenzie Pryor, Morangi, Romeo's Child. Nominated by Willinga Park. And at 284, Chris Sherwood with Small Talk. At a camp score of 21.67, 21.67. For Gus Malone, going back one at 281 was Charlie Hengsberger. We had a camp score for Charlie and Bill Carabassold of 21.67. 55.33 for horsework, 3 for course, and a grand total of 80. Our attention here in the arena now switches to 283, Mackenzie Pryor. Morangi, Romeo's Child in this round of the competition. Nominated by Willinga Park, and Mackenzie Pryor will be followed by 284, Chris Sherwood with Small Talk. 285 will be Matty Holtz with Nonda Last Frontier. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was 283 in your program. Willinga Park's nomination, Morangi Romeo's Child, ridden here this afternoon by Mackenzie Pryor. Mackenzie joins us from Milton. We look to our next contestant. It will be 284. Chris Sherwood with Small Talk in the camp. Scores are through for Mackenzie Pryor. We had a camp score of 15.67. 54 points for horsework, 3 for course. Grand total of 72.67. 72.67. Chris Sherwood on camp, 284 with Small Talk. Nominated by Prue Sherwood. Make their home in Maringo. Will be followed by 285, Matty Holtz, Nondo Last Frontier. 286, we see Mark Buttsworth back with Stylish Abilene. 287, Karen Penny. Bib and Luke Vince. And that indeed was Chris Sherwood, Maringo, riding Small Talk. Prue Sherwood's nomination at 284 in our competition here this afternoon in the first round of the Gold Buckle Willinga Campdrafting Championship. Scores have come through for Small Talk and Chris Sherwood. We had a camp score of 20, 62.33 for horsework, 4 for course, and a total in this first round of 86.33. 86.33. Well, here's another former winner of the Willinga Gold Buckle Championship camp drafting. This is 285 in the catalogue. Matt Holtz riding Nondo Last Frontier. Following on at 286, Mark Buttsworth at the gate with Stylish Abilene. 287 will be Karen Penny with Bib and Luke Vince. 288, Pete Comiskey's back with Raunchy Dad. And that is a completed run on that occasion for our contestant and former winner, Matty Holtz with Nondo Last Frontier, 285 in the competition. 286 into the camp, we're getting ready to roll with Mark Buttsworth. Joins us from Kingaroy in Queensland, riding Stylish Abilene. Mark and Rebecca Buttsworth's nomination, Stylish Abilene. Scores are coming through for Matty Holtz. We've got a camp score of 22.33, 62.33 for horsework, 4 for course, gives him a grand total in day one of 88.67 with Nondo Last Frontier, 88.67. And that's it for Mark Buttsworth, the Kingaroy contestant, riding Stylish Abilene at 286 in the competition here this afternoon. We'll have Karen Penny into the camp, 287, riding Bib and Luke Vince, 288, Pete Comiskey with Raunchy Dad, and Josh Gibson, 289, with LeBron not that far away. Okay, let's check the numbers for Mark Buttsworth. Stylish Abilene, 286 in the competition. Had a camp score of 23, 62 points for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total on day one of 89 points. 8-9. Had a camp score for Bib and Luke. Karen Penny, 19.33. 19.33. Moving right along, Pete Comiskey's off and running. 288 in the competition with Raunchy Dad. To the gate, we want Josh Gibson with LeBron, 289. And Andrew Turvey's back with Ruby at 290. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Pete Comiskey, 288 in our competition here this afternoon. Joins us from Nebo once again, as he has over the last 5 years of competition. Today he was riding Jordan McDowell's nomination, A Raunchy Dad. Scores are coming through for Pete and A Raunchy Dad. We've got a camp score of 22, 63.67 for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total here of 89.67. Time moves him into the top 4 in our competition at this stage, Pete. 89.67. Slides him up into about number 4 on day number 1 of competition. Well, as we go with Josh Gibson, 289 in the event here this afternoon. This is one of Josh's nomination. Of course, he is one of the partners and business holders of Foresight, one of our partners in sponsorship, and have been for many years here in Willinga Park. Great to have Josh competing here this weekend, as he has over the last couple of seasons. He'll be followed in the event by 290 Andrew Turvey, 291 is Greg Charlson, and 292 is Ken Bolton, riding Obenvale Redeem. Well, that was Josh Gibson, 289 in the competition, riding LeBron. Scores are coming through on this occasion for Josh and LeBron. 21 points for camp, 63 points for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total of 88 points. 88 points at this stage for Josh Gibson and LeBron. Well, 290 into the competition. This will be Andrew Turvey. Wandoan, Queensland. Banjo Turvey's nomination called Ruby. Be followed by 291 in the competition. Greg Charlson's nomination, Zanzibar. 292 is Ken Bolton with Obenvale Redeem. And 293 is Matthew Moffat with Juliet. Well, as that wraps up Andrew Turvey and Ruby, had a camp score of 21.33 for Ruby, 21.33 and Andrew Turvey. Moving right along this afternoon to 291 in our competition. This is Greg Charlson riding Zanzibar. Joins us from Wagga Wagga, one of our Riverina contestants. 292 in the event is Ken Bolton with Obenvale Redeem at the gate. 293, not that far off, is Matthew Moffat with Duet. And 294 is Chrissy French with Cat Zazaz. Okay, we've got a camp score coming through for our previous competitor, Greg Charlson, with Zanzibar, 22.33, 22.33. $2.92 in the competition should be Ken Bolton with Obenvale Redeem. Another one of our contestants join us from Stradbroke. He'll be followed by Matthew Moffat with Duet, Chrissy Finch with Cat, and following on will be Matt Oakley at $2.95. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was 292 in the competition. Obenvale Redeem with Kenny Bolton in the saddle. 293 into the camp. We go on once again with Duet, and it'll be Matthew Moffat. Kenny Bolton's score with Obenvale Redeem is 21 points for camp, 60.67 for horsework, 4 for course, and a total here of 85.67, 85.67. 293, it's Matt Moffat. We are watching at this point of time in the camp with Juliet. 294 at the gate is Chrissy French. 295 is Matt Oakley with Acres Dual Delight. And 296, not that far off, is Brent Trotter with the Vintage Whiskey. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was our contestant at 293 here this afternoon, Juliet. That was K&E Hanrahan's nomination, Juliet and Matthew Moffat. 294, we look down to the camp. Getting set is Chrissy French with Cat. 295 at the gate is Matt Oakley, and Brent Trotter not far off with 296 and Vintage Whiskey. Scores have come through for our previous competitor, Matthew Moffat. Juliet, we've got a camp score of 23, 62.67 for horsework, 4 for course. Grand total here today, 89.67, and like we saw previously, that has moved him up the ladder to number 4 in day number 1 of competition. That's 89.67. He's in a share of 4th at this stage. 294, we've got her in the camp, Chrissy French with Cat. 295, Matt Oakley with Acres Dual Delight at the gate. Brent Trotter at 296. And Troy Palmer will be back with his next nomination, Binia, Idaho. Well, that is going to wind it up for Chrissy French here this afternoon at 294 in the draw with Cat. 295 we see into the camp this time. Matt Oakley warming up with Acres Dual Delight. We had a camp score for Chrissy French of 21 only in this opening round of competition. Matt Oakley joins us here this afternoon, makes his home at Walker on the beautiful side of northern New England, New South Wales, riding Ron Nicholson's nomination, Acres Dual Delight at 295, and Matt Oakley. 296, I can see Brent Trotter there at the gate with Vintage Whiskey. 297 is Troy Palmer, Binia, Idaho. And 298, we've got Brendan Fitzgerald, Sanita's Stylish Lass. And that completes the round of competition for Matt Oakley with Acres Dual Delight. 295 in our competition this afternoon. We'll wait for those numbers to come through officially. 296 in the camp. We look down, it's Brent Trotter. Brent joins us here this afternoon, of course, from Gunnedah in the northwest of New South Wales. Riding Terry and Liz Smith's nominated Vintage Whiskey. Scores for Matt Oakley, 17.67 in the camp, 63.33 for horsework, 4 for course. Rounds it out with an 85-point score in day number 1. 85 for Matt Oakley and Acres Dual Delight. Brent Trotter on course, Vintage Whiskey into the camp, 297 is Troy Palmer with Binya, Idaho. 298 at the gate, Brendan Fitzgerald with Sanita's Stylish Lass. And we turn to 299, Lucas Roberts, Sieco, not that far away. At a camp score for Brent Trotter, 20.67, 20.67. This is one of Troy and Fiona Palmer's nominations. Join us from Coolah in the central west of New South Wales. Binya, Idaho in action. Followed by Brendan Fitzgerald, 298. In this competition with Sanita's Stylish Lass. He will be into the camp next. Lucas Roberts at 299, and then we're going to have a 300. It'll be Carl Green with Bushy. Camp score for Troy Palmer and Binya, Idaho is 20. 20 camp score and a 20 only for Troy Palmer. So we've got about 3 to go, ladies and gentlemen. We will have the vehicles into the arena shortly with the levelling of the surface, re-watering, re-harrowing, and of course rolling the arena. It takes about 15 minutes. Great opportunity to stretch your legs, grab a bite to eat. The coffee van I can recommend is very, very good here this afternoon. Take in a few of the sites. You've got an opportunity to visit our Ringers Western Wear demonstration for all of your clothing accessories, boots, hats, caps, belts, buckles, jeans, you name it. They've got it here. They're our major partner and sponsor. Naming rights of the Ringers Western Wear Gold Buckle Championship campdrafting here this weekend. A very special thanks to John Bergman here on the ground, of course, from the Rawhide Saddlery. And, of course, John's been a long-time supporter of this campdrafting event here this weekend. And, of course, the Rawhide Saddlery makes world-class saddles that fit all circumstances, whether it be in the campdrafting, karting world. John Bergman's the man to talk to from Rawhide Saddlery. We're watching on course 298, Sanita's Stylish Lass, Brendan Fitzgerald. So we're waiting for the scores to come through for Brendan Fitzgerald. Our contestant joins us from Roma. Brendan Fitzgerald riding Sanita's Stylish Lash. Camp score is 22.33, 56.67 for horsework. 4 for course gives Brendan a score of 83 points earlier on day 1, 83. 299 in the camp or on course at this stage. We look down as Lucas Roberts riding Sieco. Into the camp as our 300th competitor here on day number 1 of competition will be Carl Green from Walker riding Bushy. Okay, we've got scores through for Sieko and Lucas Roberts. 21.67 for camp, 60.33 for horsework, 4 for course. And it's a total score here on day one of 86 points. We're watching on camp as we speak, contestant number 300. This will be Carl Green with Bushy. Now, after we do the arena rake, we've got 301 is Danny Farley with Chad. 302 is John Turvey with Jess. 303 is Kerry Turner and Alex Croker at 304. But that will be after the arena working, which takes around about 15 minutes. A great time to stretch your legs, grab a break, and of course take in the sights here at Willinga. Trade site stands, certainly something to see for every member of the family. Great way to wrap up the first 300. That was Carl Green with Bushy.
Well, there you go. Time for a break. I don't think they're going to give you one. It would be nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, at 300 in the competition, that was Carl Green. The camp score was 21.33. Horsework, 63.67. 4 for course, 89 points. Takes him up into the top 14 at this stage. That's Carl Green and Bushy. That was the contestant we saw at number 300 in the competition, which is always an exciting way to be. Get that first score on the board on day number one of competition. But ladies and gentlemen, just while you are stretching your legs and making your way around the ground for a 15-minute break, just bring you up to speed on our current leaders in today's Gold Buckle first round competition. Matthew Moffat having a great day here in Willinga with JMD Fascinator, leads the competition with 91.67. Rowan Marks with Turn Marks Editor, 91, sits second. Matthew Moffat, he's in the 1 and 3 at this stage, sits at number 3 in the competition with Snapchat, 90.67. And then there is a list of them at 89.67. Boy, we go down quite a few. Dean Rogers with Darley Sweet Chili, Pete Comiskey, Raunchy Dad. Matthew Moffat's name features once again with Juliet, 89.67. Hugh Miles from Tamworth, 89.67. And Scott Bandy rounded out. They're the top, around about 8 contestants with 89.67. But at this stage, 300 down, Matthew Moffat is the leader, 91.67. Well, folks, 15 minutes, great time to stretch your legs, warm up a little, keep focused. And, of course, we will hand it over to Leslie Deneen to take us through to the next 50 contestants following our short break here this afternoon.